I did want to take him linked, but Clown told me I couldn't. Clown, the ruiner of fun, right? Anyways, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for War 6 of the season. For Loki, we're off to a bit of a rough start, but we're going to get things back on track. At least, actually, I do know we do. We've got 6 fights with Miguel here, a really cool one with Doom, and then we go up against a rank 4 Nimrod boss. Last season, I got to the point where I was almost like bored with boss kills. I don't know if we had any rank 4s though, so let's jump into this, see how this is going to get going. We got the rich get richer here, right? He's going to increase the attack power, feats power, mystic ward, so we can't nullify all that good stuff, right? But this should not be a problem for Spider-Man 99, especially starting off with the anti-venom synergy. Thank you, some of you who have asked this. Sometimes I forget that, you watch a video and that doesn't mean you catch them all. So the anti-venom synergy is starting Miguel off with a wither on the defender. It makes a massive difference. Miguel's fine without it. He's great without it. But in war fights like this, where the nodes are so difficult or 1 or 2 mistakes can really start to compile and make everything go downhill fast, being able to start off with the wither is massive, as you can see here, right? So I'm already just every time I'm hitting into Dragon Man's block, we're getting the ruptures. I had never taken this exact fight before, at least if I have, I don't recall doing it, which isn't unusual for me. But you can see that the wither's already doing its job, right? From Dragon Man's power gain to the point where I remember even doing this now, where it's like, do I even want to get rid of the power gain? And I was like, I realized I'm just going to actually play the fight. I'm not going to worry about it, too much strategy. If I've got the power gain up, cool. If I don't, also cool. Miguel's doing plenty of damage. And kind of probably the easiest fight of the war. Let's go ahead and put that way. The controls felt great. I was really focused on this one. Had plenty of time. Was able to get my privacy for in the fights. And like I said, for Loki, we needed to get some wins. We were 1-4 at this point. So I moved up. I did not take that Warlock. So now we're moving on to this fight against Sasquatch. I've been taking Sasquatch a lot on that node 26 with the window of opportunity stun. This is the power snack node. Now, this is a significantly easier fight for Miguel anyways than that other node. I just still have to pay attention to the unstoppable armor. Don't need to worry about power snap because Miguel's not getting buffs anyways. And then the other part there with like the health gain and the power gain, I don't need to really worry about that either. So I'm just going to go in on this one. I can parry whenever I want. So I'm going to parry early, land my heavy to get that exhaustion up. And because of that exhaustion, Sasquatch is never going to gain his Wrath of Tanarach charges. So really what I'm just going to do is I'm going to hit into his block a lot. I think I make one mistake. If it's not this one, it's soon. I'm going to just completely forget about the unstoppable armor. I relax like too much in the fight and kind of forget about it. But there you go. I didn't mean to land that heavy because I already have my exhaustion up. There it is. There's the mistake. And I knew I just kind of forgot about it, and nothing like a shot to the head from Sasquatch to remind you of the unstoppable armor. So really, we're just going to be dexing to pause our debuffs. That's what the passive in the upper left-hand corner is there, the little kind of Spider-Man icon there. And so I know that my debuffs are paused. I need to get my wither back up. After that mistake, I kind of had some cobwebs there. So let's see, we should throw our SP2 to get the wither back up. And then when you have the wither up, every time you hit into the opponent's block, you're going to be landing a rupture. Those ruptures are doing a lot of damage, and then every time he crosses a bar of power or gets all the way down to 0, they will explode. And that's really what this fight is about. I mean, Spider-Man 99 is just completely shutting off the Wrath of Tanarach mechanic because of the exhaustion. And then the rest of it is really just no big deal. I'm running Despair, so we've got all these debuffs up. It's just, yeah, it might take a little bit. I mean, we're, what, a minute and a half into this fight. He's got almost 20% health left. So it's not like it's taking that long. We're already up to 20 ruptures, which is the most you can get anyway. And as soon as he crosses a bar of power, we should be getting him down here. I'm doing these wars a little bit late, so it's not like I've forgotten everything, but some of the details are a little fuzzy. Let's put it that way. I don't remember all of them. So anyways, that was a great fight. I was really excited about it. Feeling good about the war. And moving on to what I felt were probably my most difficult fights of this war. So we're going to go up against this Peni Parker. I've fought in Peni Parker on that node you just saw, which for me was significantly more difficult. Spider-Man 99, again, as long as I can keep the wither up, it's going to handle a lot of what's challenging about this node. I'm putting on the Mystic power and power back boost there for the next fight, but here we go. We've got Spite, which I'm not going to need to worry about because I'm not going to be getting buffs. And then this Rise to Power. I will be knocking Peni down, but as long as I've got the wither up, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to really keep up the wither. I want to be hitting into her block anyway to get her sync shield down, right? her sync shield charges down, get those down. Then if she needs both her sync shield and her spider sense in order to do the auto block. So again, Miguel, at least with that anti-venom synergy, really great matchup, not just for Peni in general, but for this node in particular, because we've got the wither buff, so we don't need to worry about any of those power gains after we've knocked her down. And then additionally, he's wanting to hit into her block anyway. So here we go. She doesn't have any spider sense charges, so I can go ahead and hit in. For those of you who are like advancing Miguel players, that's something I still actually have to work on it quite a bit, is you're just used to doing your combos into a champion when you can, right? I mean, that's usually a great idea. It's not that it's necessarily bad in and of itself with Miguel. The negative is when you're doing that, you're not dashing back, you're not dexing and pausing your debuffs. And you really want to pause those debuffs, especially the wither. It's so key to so many of these fights. And so that's something that you want to kind of keep in mind. I made a little mistake there. It is what it is. And so here we are. So we're hitting into her block. We're getting her sync shield charges down. We're already up to 18. We'll probably get to 19 ruptures if I wanted to at some point. Here we go. She has no charges, so it felt good to just go ahead and land the SB2, get her close to death, and then we should go and just finish her right here with a nice 5-hit combo. So there you go. That's that fight. That's Peni. And for any like advancing Miguel players, especially in war, where the power gain is the issue, that's why you're taking him. You want to make sure you're doing everything you can to keep your wither up. It's more important. That's like priority number 1. 3-hit combo, 5-hit combo, definitely priority number 2 and 3 and 4, and so on down the list. All right, this is a fight. I've never taken this before. It was really cool. It caused me to go in and do some reading up on Nova, that sort of thing. And I'm an advancing Doom player. I've played him so much. He's so great. You don't need to be amazing with him to get fights done. So we've got this aspect of evolution, kinetic transference. Something for me just to kind of keep in mind is that Nova might start getting some of that power going, the kinetic transference. So really what I wanted to do is just get him into his Doom cycle and then get that Fury buff off of him as soon as I can. So I know I will be trying to land some reparries. I believe I'm going to nullify it there with my SB1. Yeah, okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure I do. And so right now this fight's looking pretty good. We're in a great situation. When I see the shock up, I'm going to go ahead and use it to my advantage with the heavy, right? The passive stun on the heavy. And I'm really just working my way up to my special 3. I'm going to keep staggers up as much as I can to prevent that that Fury buff of his from coming back. We've already let it come back once. He's got a bunch of bars of power, which is cool. We're going to throw our SB3 and then just Doom cycle this guy. I think there is going to be a little bit more gameplay in here if I remember correctly, but by the time about 5 seconds into the fight, maybe 10, I was like, okay, we're good. We're solid. Really love this. I mean, Doom's Doom. Doom's amazing. He's a great matchup for Nova. I was a little bit concerned about potential power gains and stuff there. I didn't want to get myself, especially with kinetic transference, getting too far along and letting Nova get too much power. So that's why you saw me kind of back out there, make sure I threw that SP1. I'd rather throw that SP1, steal his power, nullify any Furies, and then have the fight take another 30 seconds because I have to end up going to my SP3. Then have some sort of mistake happen, have me miscount something, I don't know, send Nova to his SP3, and then potentially I'm in trouble. So there we go, Doom cycle. We got our 2 Fury buffs. So if that fight had lasted a little bit longer, we could have thrown our SP2 and just ruined him and finished it off. So that was cool. Love Doom. Now going in, taking this fight. I've taken this fight, I don't know, a lot. And I'm going to go in, and the one thing I always try to remind people of is the feats of Indestructible. Remember, Miguel, especially with the anti-venom synergy, going to be turning off kinetic transference synergy. In fact, not only turning it off, but Mojo will actually be losing power in those blocked hits. Got this strategy from Karate Mike, like I don't know how many seasons ago, but you'll see the backup and then the stun. I think Strands maybe even started that. Every time I've taken this fight though, despite taking it what feels like thousands, it's probably only like 15 times. I messed that up at least once. Every single time I back up and I just don't get it feels almost like a reparry. I don't land it in time. And then again, as I started off saying, the one thing I always remind people of is it's got that feat of Indestructible too. So when you get to your SP2, you want to wait a bit because he's going to go Indestructible. You see how nicely it works. With like Mr. Negative, I've taken this fight with Mr. Negative. You can throw your SP2 somewhere in the Indestructible because most of that damage is coming off the degen from the SP2 anyway. The Indestructible will go down. But with Miguel, that's not how his special works. You really want to make sure that there's almost nothing left on Indestructible, if nothing left at all, and get that down. Now we're going into this aspect of evolution, enhanced special 2, blah, 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 lots of stuff. keep an eye on the unstoppable armor. I've already seen you make a mistake with that once. And then 2, keep up those withers. And if you can, don't get stuck comboing. In the last war, I had my first like kind of close fight with this against Mangog. Every other time, I've just absolutely destroyed it. But I've seen it go sideways for excellent players with rank 4 Sig 200 Miguels. So you're just seeing me, I'm hitting into the blocks as much as possible. I'm making sure I get those dexes, pause my debuffs, keep those going. And then I really need him to throw power, because if anything can go wrong, it's him getting to his SP2 and then throwing that unblockable into you. And that's what happened to me last time. We survived it, we finished it off, we were A-okay, obviously. But I just was like, okay, I'm gonna double down, really focus, really pay attention here. Don't concentrate too much on the rank 4 Nimrod boss that's coming up. Hit into block when I can, and then see, I don't want to, well, I did a little more than I should have there. Should back up, make sure I pause that timer. There we go, now I can land some hits if I want to. I noticed that the unstoppable armor is getting close in, so I want to let that finish off so that way I can come in, and then I should just throw my SP2. Oh, I should have thrown it there. I wonder why I didn't. Probably just being extra conservative. Surprised I then chose to. Probably recognized they made a mistake and then decided to go ahead and finish it off right there. So super clean war, super clean. Felt great about all of that. Felt good to use Miguel again. I mean, by virtue of last season, he's the champion I'm by far the most comfortable with now, just because he's the one I've played by far the most. I wars where I spend most of my time, and then you guys see a lot of it like on stream or things like that. So here we go, going up against this rank 4 Nimrod boss. Don't believe I've ever taken a rank 4 before. I did want to take him linked, but Clown told me I couldn't. Clown, the ruiner of fun, right? Anyways, I'm just kidding. He's an amazing leader, and he's right. I should not have tried to tank it linked. So we're gonna go into this. I think I'm gonna make another unstoppable armor mistake at some point. And not that that's okay. I'm not trying to say like it's a good thing, but when you're taking a boss like this with Miguel, there it is, there it was. You've got your recoil tree masteries on, you know you're gonna be healing up. And I think it's almost smart, especially when you're not totally familiar with the fight. You can play very aggressively. You don't wanna play like an insane person like what I just did right there and go into the unstoppable armor. But you're gonna be healing up, and I think it behooves you to play aggressive. You want to get to your special 3 on a champion that has unstoppable armor or an evade or unstoppable anyways. So we're going to get to our special 3. Now we're going to have up the slow debuff, right? So you can see it. You don't see the wither, but I recall realizing it's definitely there. Don't worry about it. I've had fights like this with the bug, and it just is what it is. But know that it's there. Oh, no, actually, is it not there? Let's check it out. I'm maybe confusing this with the next war, where I fought another Nimrod boss. Let's keep paying attention to this, which could be an issue. But anyways, we'll keep talking about it. So we're just gonna hit into it. Make sure you know these dexes. Even these wouldn't do too bad. I'm gonna fail, I think, a couple of the SP1s there, but you're just gonna go in and you're gonna do this. If you lost your wither, which it looks like maybe I have, let's see. Yeah, the wither's back up. So now that I've got my wither back up, which even shows like not a big deal, pause it, keep it paused, because the wither's not the issue in this fight. It is helpful because when he has the wither, you have a 100% chance to land your ruptures when you hit into the defender's block. Ruptures are doing a large source of constant damage. You see all the red numbers, but then you also burst them when he crosses a bar of power or gets to 0. But again, as you can see, this is a rank 4 Nimrod boss with all that resistance and stuff. Apparently, I did not have a wither up. I must have lost it with all those mistakes in the beginning of the fight. And we still had him down to like 40% health, 50% health. So you're totally fine. Miguel does plenty of damage, especially running the recoil tree. I mean, we're at 100% health here. So, all right, so there we go. So now it's just gonna be a pattern of keeping up the slow, right? Because the slow is what's preventing the effects of the unstoppable and then also the unstoppable armor. And as you know, we've talked about it many times, but it's worth repeating. You pause those by dexing, and then I remember this fight quite well, that I was not concerned with him being a rank 4 anymore at all. And there we go. Nice little intercept to end it, finish it off. Felt great. Rank 4, so no, okay, rank 4, really not that much different than a rank 3, at least as far as Miguel is concerned on this node, right? In other situations, it could be. So, but on this node, no big deal. And then we ended up winning the war. I think we've got like a fun thing. The guys kind of made, yeah, PWF. There was some kind of fun Zen jokes going back and forth between myself and Mr. Clowniest Clown. We have Very different books and books on tape, I guess they're called, or whatever the kids are calling books on tape these days. We have very different Buddhism books that we listen to or enjoy. And as you can see, I don't know how to type, but I'm just saying nice, clear BG2. So we did end up getting the win. I got one of the MVPs. Lizer did too. And let's go ahead and see who got the other MVP there. Oh, Mr. Clown himself. So congratulations to all the MVP. Well played to our opponents. It was a really great war. And we just came up on the winning side of it this time. Let's go and check out the season stats and then also the loyalty tracker. Okay, 2 weeks into the season, for Loki, you're 2-4. That's not great, but we've got this win now. And as I said, I know we're back on track, so feeling really good about that. That's always the most important stat to me. 29 kills, 1 death. I'm very happy with that ratio. Never like any deaths, but I'm very, very happy and contented with that ratio. 1 boss solo now. You just saw it. I happen to know there's going to be another one coming up, again with Miguel. You saw how you can just play so aggressively with him in a lot of these matchups that he just makes sense for them. Still 10 total champions. Started off, I think we had 10 total champions in the first like 3 wars, and then it kind of makes sense that that's going to taper off. And then 1 defender killed my rank 4 null. Happen to know he's going to get another one soon, so I'm pumped up to see him paying off there. Not really surprising to see Miguel start to take a massive lead in this. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more Shang-Chi and Mega Sentinel, especially on a weekend war when I tend to get less fights anyway. And it was fun to bring in Doom, and I just love seeing that tiny little APOC. There's something kind of funny about seeing that. So, all right, let's go ahead and check out the season loyalty tracking. Okay, War 6 is now in the books. 7 total fights. You obviously just saw them all, 0 deaths. So that was really good. Here, and then really only 3 level 2 potions. I did play well there. There was some mistakes. And so I think it's important to keep that in mind, though. So it's not just that. It's not just the potions to heal back up. I did use 2 special 12% boosts, a power 150%, a power 200%, 3 invulnerabilities, and 1 advanced power. All of that coming out to still 66,000. So maybe some of those boosts weren't necessary. I don't know. Campo talks about this a lot in one of his most recent videos, and I really agree with him. And I found myself noticing it in this war in particular, because I was trying to be mindful about how much boosting I was doing. Was, yeah, but part of the boost then makes it so you either make less mistakes, or if you do, like we saw me run into a couple unstoppable armors, I had an indestructible on, I wouldn't have lost the fight, but I would have had to heal up. So they do work together hand in hand. The loyalty cost was still 66,000. I still believe, it's not like this is a negotiation, but I believe that we will have a very different loyalty economy at the end of the season, or at least at the beginning of the next, or when compensation ends. But we will continue to track this, monitor this, provide this feedback to Kabam. I do think it's important. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the war, and I hope your season is going excellently. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.